Hey VC, Jeff here, back again. So I want to go ahead and cover, in my last video I talked about the band Mullet and Ionian Wreckage briefly. I received a package of stuff from them, of course, with the Mullet stuff in it, and so I wanted to break that out. But so, Ionian Wreckage, if you're not familiar, I bought a bunch of stuff from them a couple of years ago. They release a lot of bands that, you know, recorded either an indie album or demos, or they tend to be the hair type sleaze rock bands of yesteryear. They do some occasional newer stuff, which we're going to see here also in this one, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff that they carry is just great stuff that never saw the light of day. Local bands that recorded, but, you know, never got any notoriety beyond that, so they reissue them. One such band is Mad Anthony. Now, Mad Anthony, San Francisco Bay Area band, back in the day, '84. These guys were tearing it up and becoming huge in the days when all of the Motley Crues and the Rats and all of them were doing the same thing, but in a slightly different area. They were just one of the many bands in that scene that got passed over. Supposed, I mean, they got lots of write-ups and lots of, they were one of the, you know, big bands back at the time. Honestly, I gotta say, I hadn't heard of them, but I wasn't in that era, but they were supposedly, you know, one of the bigger ones in the area, and it just never happened for them, I guess, and so, another panel there. So it has, they did release this, and it is great stuff. It's great stuff. It's, I didn't check exactly when it was recorded, but I'm sure it's older material from back in the day. And yeah, it's nice to see, you know, and it looks like the band's got some involvement here because, you know, there are some thank yous and stuff in there. So it's nice to see, you know, when contacts can be made and old stuff can be pulled out and reissued, cleaned up, fixed up. Great stuff. One of the other ones here is Kenny Mcgee, a Florida-based musician. I mean, you know, come on. He had to look. And apparently he was pretty hot stuff. Played in a lot of different bands in the Florida area back in the day. And pretty popular. So, had done a lot of different recordings. And they have released Kenny Mcgee, Heartless Days 1. Heartless Days 1. Heartless Days 2. Just compiling all these songs. And then Heartless Days 3, which is in the studio live. So, apparently there have been some other copies of other labels that may have released some of the stuff, because I've seen some different covers out there. But these are the three new ones from Ionian Records. They sound great, they look great, they're packaged great, such a great job, and, you know, it's just great to hear bands that went under the radar for those of us around the world, but, you know, who were pretty popular in their area. Now, the other ones that I got from them are actually a little more modern. We're going to start with this one. I bought most of these without really paying attention to what they were, as far as, I just, you know, I wanted to catch up on some of the releases he had, so I put everything in the cart. Freak Show. Fairly new release. Turns out, though, this was not what it was cut out, you know, made out to be. This has Frankie Benelli on drums, Jeff LeBar on guitar, and Tony Franklin. They don't show his picture here because it's mainly dedicated to Frankie and Jeff, who passed away in the past. Both of them passed away, you know, between 20 and 21. They passed away. Apparently, the guitar player, the guy covering his face there, and the guy with the makeup is the guy who's kind of the main thrust behind the band. He's got ads and everything. Tony Franklin plays bass on this. He's been in a lot of bands too. So, yeah, it's not just a bunch of nobodies. Anyway, I had not heard about this album, did not know that these guys had gotten together and recorded that, but I'm liking it, digging it. I've already, gave this a spin, and this is really good stuff. Freak Show, again, Ionian Records, Eonian. Another semi-new band. This is a band called Dextress. They released this album in 2017 and then folded. And so this is a 2021 reissue of their band. Again, they started, the little story in here goes that they met in 2011 when they were like 13. And anyway, yes. So then eventually, put a band together, and 2017 released an album, and then kind of, stopped from there. Who knows? Who knows? These bands take breaks for a while and they come back, but definitely looks cool, and it definitely sounds good. So this is another example of like those modern bands that are bringing back the, the new wave of traditional heavy metals, they would call it. 24/7, again, another one I was not aware of. This is actually a 2002 album. I don't know if it was ever officially released. It looks like it had been released on another label years ago, but it might have been just, again, an album that never kind of got any kind of publishing, and then it just kind of disappeared. But 24/7 is Bobby Blotzer and Mark Karabi and Marcelo. That's the only name that didn't strike out exactly. But of course we know the other guys. And interesting, I'm listening to this, and at least I know one song, definitely one song. The song, it is the song Limelight. The song Limelight apparently got brought over. This was 2002, and then of course Rat's last album was in 2010. And Limelight, the riffs behind that definitely made it onto Look Out Below by Rat. It's just riff for riff, pretty much taken right out of that. And then there's another song on here. I didn't write it down because I never could identify, but I can sing. I'm hearing the song in my head, a Rat song, I believe. But I could not find the song. It drove me crazy. I spent like a little bit of time. But there's at least two songs on here that are very much, one I know, and one I'm pretty sure ended up somewhere on the Rat release. So, just songs that probably never got released or made it anywhere. And again, it was reissued. Ionian Records put this out. So again, another reissue of an album that I had never even knew was in existence. Now, last one here. This is totally not even from Ionian Records. This came with another order I got, but I picked up the Iron Maiden Soundhouse tapes and more. I've had most copies of these, but this is early rarities from 78 to 81. So this has been reissued, on various formats, but this is like one of the latest. And it's just got a lot of, stuff from that time frame, some live stuff. So cool stuff though. Ionian Records. Check them out if you're not familiar with them. If you like, the hair, the sleaze rock, those type of bands, they have a bunch of them, and just a lot of great stuff that you've never heard probably, and is only available, on labels like this that put them out. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back later. Rock on, rock hard.